Can you talk a little bit about why you think documentation can be so overwhelming for some people in probate and some of the things families might be able to do to understand? I know one of the answers is they could hire an attorney to help them, but
Mm,
we have we come across a lot of people who don't have one yet, or
mhm.
maybe they're going to do it pro se.
Yeah, and if they have an attorney, that's awesome because that's one of the things the attorney wants done. So, I mean, but when you not but and when you go to an attorney, quite often there's a slide or a scale that they're going to be paid on, whether it's a
Right.
retainer or whether that's paid by what they do, or whether that's some hybrid model or do all. There's usually different, I guess, packages, I would say, that many attorneys may offer. Some only say, hey, this is the way I'm doing it. You have to pay me this up front, or every attorney is different, but there's a pay structure. So
Right.
I say that to say there's some times where I don't bring any value, so there's no reason to work with me when it comes to the administrative side or paperwork side of
Hmm.
probate. But there are folks out there who uh, perhaps they're working with an attorney on hybrid and they need to provide the documents to them so they can process them or do that, and they just want a quick conversation or something, or
Yeah.
some support in that way. Uh, those are there are different ways that was the reason I put out those different videos so people can see those, because it seems like that's what the biggest questions are,
Right.
and that I get and that I see. And so um helping folks who maybe don't have an attorney or want to spend less time in the attorney's office, um with just sharing the experiences I have, uh
Yeah. Well, and
that's
sometimes
the
sometimes
document.
people. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's I was just saying that's the documents that you see when you're at the estate's office. I mean, I was spending so much time at the estate office. I was even offered a position from the from one of the officials in the office when
Oh,
state
at the
was,
courthouse.
but yeah, the courthouse. But I was like, I don't know if I could sit in the 9 to 5 in this way. I like to help and be on my feet doing different things. But I mean, they're also amazing folks there. But everybody serves their different role and purpose. So yeah,
Right.
so that's why I put out a lot of documents there, because this seems like what a lot of people are looking for and need,
Oh,
document videos. Mhm.
that's a good point. So if you get a call from a family, maybe they haven't hired an attorney yet, and they call you because they want to sell their house, and maybe they haven't started the probate process, or they don't even know they need to.
Mhm.
Do you refer them to a clerk at the courthouse, or do you send them to your YouTube channel to get some basic education, or what do you do with those
Well,
people that aren't sure where to get started?
it's usually just a discovery to see where they are in the process, what the questions actually are. If they're looking for a checklist or a step by step, I can provide some resources, direct them to some videos, some documents, some articles that either I have or that's around there. Or if they're again, it's a discovery. If they're looking for something a little more extensive, then um, support them in that way. And it just really is. It's a conversation. I have helped people open probate without buying the property, and sometimes there's sometimes fees that are associated with that, but it's not
Hmm.
the cost that someone's going to have when they're if they're if they're taking it on full fledged by themselves, and
Right.
or you're dealing with an attorney, I should say. But I mean, I always encourage folks to work with attorneys as a uh,
Right.
continue to share. So it's really different for each person.
I do the exact
Yeah.
same thing. I encourage people to work with attorneys, and
Mhm.
part of the reason I do it is because I've come across some families that wanted to save 5,000, $10,000, and then they lost millions of dollars in the process. And I mean, literally millions of dollars.
Wow.
And it's like, no, that's
Take
so
the
wrong.
time.
That's so wrong,
Yeah. Especially
And
when you're having a conversation with the attorney, because there's still great probate attorneys, and knowing that I also have a partnership with closing attorneys that understand the process, and I understand the process. So everybody understanding the probate process can make that cash transaction a lot easier, especially when you work with the same folks again and again. So I
mhm.
know a lot of the attorneys, just as you know, in this area, as I'm sure you know in your area. So it's great when everybody on the same team is communicating, and speed happens when folks trust each other and communicate.
Right.
So that's pretty important.
Absolutely. And Courtney, you mentioned some of these things already, but I think this is really important. Um, what are some things that families should do consider before they call a real estate agent or a cash buyer to sell their house? What kind of pre-work should they do before they reach out to you?
Um, well, I guess have a conversation. It really depends on where they are, but if they're
Yeah.
looking to just look for options, and of course, give us a call or give someone a call and see. But if they're really serious about they want support. Um, I mean, check all the different things. Make sure they have a presence. If you're looking at it on a website, make sure they uh maybe they're being referred and just have a conversation and hope that they're not just talking about buying your property because that's we're here to solve problems. It sounds cliche, but
Hmm.
that's how you bring the folks who are uh open and looking for some type of relief. Um, so definitely go with your gut that's always there and make sure that they're not just trying to be transactional, but be a party helping you with this part of your life.
Sure, sure. And so let's talk about the process just a little bit. So, you said that you spend time in court. You also work with attorneys. Do you get information from the public records at the courthouse? Is that one way that you find families?
That's one way that I've been able to find families. The main way is from folks finding me or reaching out because of the video and the YouTube channel. Mostly when people are looking for answers, quite often
Mm,
some of our resources are going to pop up and all. So that's one of the main ways. But I also, yep, I'm able to. I go down to the. For a while, I was going to the courthouse um, in the area that I'm in, Durham County. And
okay.
even at times I would sit in on some of the cases because they were done in the deputy clerk's office in those spaces. And they knew I told them I was trying to learn as much as I can and continue trying to learn as much as I can so I can help make their job easier and
Yeah.
help the folks that they're sitting across make their time easier. So quite often folks would say that they need the support with the property. And so
Gotcha. Okay. And so when they contact you, then do you do analysis before you go out, or do you just go out and check out the situation first to really understand what they're dealing with?
Yeah, we have, it's sometimes people hop on a Zoom. Quite often, folks will
Mm,
will sign up for Courtney at the State Pro Service, look,
mm,
Calendly.com/estate pro service, and we'll set up a time to chat. Is quite often where that happens, or we'll hop on the phone and just asking a series of questions or listening to what their situation is, and we take it from there.
gotcha.
Take from
Okay.
there. And if we do work together, as far as me, being shoulder to shoulder, providing some support, we document it and based on what we agreed upon and go from there. Um,
Okay.
Quite often, what happens if I decide to buy the property, whatever work I'm doing in there is usually involved in the proceeds, so that can help folks save if they don't have the funds up front,
Yeah.
or any other administrative support that's happening. But again, every situation uh, can be different. That's why it's so important just to have these big ears and ask some good questions and
Yeah.
figure out where we think folks um, help people figure out where they think they need to go.
And then one of the options sounds like you and or your team would be able to just purchase the house if it makes sense for them to sell it.
Mm, absolutely.
When that happens, do you how fast can you turn it around? I know a lot of times direct buyers can turn these things around a lot faster than we as agents can.
Yeah, that's one of the, I guess, benefits when it comes to that. Sometimes, I mean, I've closed in 3 days before. If
Oh, wow.
I've had a conversation. I've closed in 7 days. Typically it's 2 weeks to a month because sometimes even the sellers, even folks who are in this who have estates property or just folks in general need time. So sometimes it's a month.
Right.
So.
And
Mhm.
and then do you give them the option to take what they want and leave the rest?
Oh,
Is that
absolutely. That's
yeah.
that's absolutely. Take what you need. We'll do whatever we need. Uh, uh, and that's part of the things we're trying to do. We're trying to help them be as possible. If they want us to donate to a specific place, we've put that in the contract that hey,
Oh, nice.
we'll put this in this space, or if you want to dispose of in a certain way, um, we'll take care of that. I mean, I've listed property on Facebook Marketplace and help folks sell it quickly, and we don't take any funds from there. Just help them. Just, hey, here's where you pick up. There's your money, and
Yeah.
you know, just really trying to help provide as many solutions as possible.
Oh,
Uh,
that's
that's what I'm
fantastic.
doing. Mhm.
That is fantastic. And going back to what we talked about earlier, I really like the idea of understanding the options. I think that this is such a good option for a lot of people, and sometimes there's someone in the family that just rules it out, right? They have these assumptions that aren't always true, and that's why I love putting together the net sheets and say, look at, like, you can have this amount of money in two
Right,
weeks, you
right,
know?
and being as transparent as possible because I I have agents that I work with on my that has on my team, even though I don't hold a license. So uh, when I'm looking at a property, if we get to that point where we're having that conversation, we'll show them the, what the options are, at least based on our understanding of the market. And yeah, so providing that market analysis is very important for folks so they can know what their options are, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Courtney, this has been very helpful. Are there any other, closing thoughts? Are there any other tips or important things that you would like families to think about that we haven't talked about?
Well, I mean, people who are involved in a probate, I mean, we know it's challenging. It can be challenging. It can be long. It can be, and of course, it's public. That those are some of the challenges. It can be expensive as well. So having an estate plan, whatever your level of income and wealth is very important. And having a will is just not enough, as we see
Right.
in the probate across the nation. So, um, and it doesn't take much. So I really highly encourage people to do some Google searches or contact you or me and help them secure an estate plan that helps them avoid probate and their family avoid probate in the future. And it really helps you think about a lot of things when it comes to leaving a legacy and living a
Right.
meaningful life in a lot of ways. There's a lot of benefits to it that I was uh, been very surprised by and benefit from being in this space. So that's what I would recommend. But of course, if you're involved in the space, just know you're involved in it. Know that you're going to be able to get through it. There are solutions out there, and reach out to folks who can support you and help you, and um, you'll get this done.
That's a really fantastic tip is I get that question a lot too. People are, someone has passed away and they want to know how they can avoid probate. And like, well, most of the steps that you would have need to have taken have already
Right.
passed.
Yeah.
We missed that opportunity. And after going through probate a few times, myself, I've taken steps, and my friends, we make sure we've got our ducks in a row
Oh,
so we
great.
don't
That's
have to
great.
do it. But
That's
but
great.
I highly encourage families that you make such a great point. Like, take care of it now. Don't put that on your kids. Don't put that on your siblings.
Man, well, I appreciate this, man. This is awesome. I can't wait to check out more of what you're putting out there and how you're helping people as well, man. So it's awesome to be in the same space, brother. So thanks for
Well,
giving me
thanks,
the time.
Courtney, and we would love to have you back anytime. Anytime
Man,
there's a topic you want to talk about, or if I see you put out some awesome video, I'd love to have you come back and talk about it. Like I said, your videos go. I think it shows your commitment to helping families, right? Like, it's not about buying houses. You're putting out videos to help people get through probate, and
man, I appreciate
ultimately,
I'm a part of we're a part of this person's story. Just like, that's something that's been pushed to me, and I really dig that philosophy. So yeah, so I appreciate
absolutely.
it, man.
Well, Courtney Rollins, thank you so much.
Thanks.
How do you want people to get in touch with you? I
They
will.
can reach me at Courtney at estateproservice.com or uh, Instagram, Courtney Rollins IG, I believe it is. Courtney Rollins
Okay,
IG. Rollins is Rollins. Or folks can just reach out to me at Life in Transitions Expert YouTube channel video and shoot me a message. Pretty easy to get in touch with. So that'd be awesome, man.